Hey everybody, this is Rykard here again, and welcome to another Pokemon Sword and Shield moveset video. Today's video is going to be all about the Cotton Bloom Pokemon Eldegoss, so let's get started by taking a look at its typing, abilities, and stats. So to start things off, Eldegoss is a pure grass-type Pokemon with access to 3 pretty great abilities, the first of which being a new ability introduced in a Generation 8 known as Cotton Down, which will lower the speed stat of your opponents and really everybody on the field except for Eldegoss when it's damaged by an attack. Its second ability though is known as Regenerator, which is one of the best defensive abilities in the game, as it heals you for a third of your health every single time you switch out, which is very useful for allowing this Pokemon to take repeated attacks from its opponents and keep it healthy throughout the battle. And lastly, its hidden ability is known as Effect Spore, which has a 10% chance to either paralyze, poison, or put your opponent to sleep when they damage you with a contact move. As for its stats, this Pokemon has a fairly low base 60 HP stat, but a great base 90 defense and 120 special defense to more than offset that low HP stat and allow this Pokemon to take hits very well from both physical and special attackers. Also keeping in mind that it has the Regenerator ability to heal its health whenever it switches out, and a ton of support options to keep it healthy and frustrate your opponents throughout a long battle. As for its attacking stats though, it only has a base 50 physical attack, so you're not going to get too much use out of that, but its base 80 special attack is pretty respectable and will allow it to do some pretty good damage with the special attacks that it does have at its disposal. Finally, its base 60 speed stat is pretty above or a little bit below average depending on the way that you look at it, so you're not going to be one of the fastest things on the battlefield, but you're also not going to be painfully slow as well. And also just keep in mind that even though you are one of the slower things that you may be matched up against, you still have the defenses to take repeated hits from your opponents, so it isn't too big of a deal for this particular Pokemon, but you're not going to be really using it as an offensive sweeper anytime soon, unfortunately. But with that, let's go ahead and take a look at the first moveset that I have for you in this video. So for this first moveset, we're going to run Eldegoss as a dual status support Pokemon for our team. So we're going to start this one off by giving it a Bold Nature to boost its physical defense but lower its physical attack, and use either the Cotton Down or Regenerator ability. As for the EVs, I'm going to recommend a mixed defensive EV spread, but you can definitely go fully physically or fully specially defensive if you would like. But in this particular one, we're going to max out our HP with 252 EVs, put 196 into our physical defense, and 60 into our special defense to allow us to take both physical and special hits equally well. And for the item, either going with Leftovers to recover a little bit of HP at the end of every turn, or the new Heavy Duty Boots item to allow this Pokemon to be immune to entry hazard damage when it switches in, which is very beneficial for a wall type Pokemon like this to make it so that it doesn't have to worry about being worn down by any hazards your opponent has set up. But for the moves on the set, the first 2 attacks are going to be ways to spread status to your opponent's team, the first of which being Sleep Powder, which can put your opponent to sleep, and the second being Stun Spore, which can paralyze your opponents. And having both of these moves on the same moveset is incredibly useful for allowing you to just basically guarantee that something on your opponent's team is going to be statused in some way, and provide a ton of support to your other team members, as your opponent is now going to be crippled due to some status you have given them. In addition to this, we're also going to go ahead and run Rapid Spin on the set, which is an amazing utility move for getting rid of entry hazards, and this is also really important to note that if you do use this in combination with the Heavy Duty Boots item, you will be immune to the hazards that you are spinning away, which is very, very useful. As for your last move though, we're going to go ahead and run either Giga Drain to just give you a nice stab grass type move that can also heal you, or run another support option in Aromatherapy to get rid of any statuses any Pokemon on your team have received, or Synthesis to just allow this Pokemon a reliable way to recover 50% of its health. Moving on to the second moveset, this is a little bit more of a basic support set you can run on this Pokemon at the cost of sacrificing running 2 statuses. So we're going to start this one off again with the Bold Nature, the Cotton Down or Regenerator ability, and the same mixed defensive EV spread as before, but for the item, we're also going to include the Eject button as a potential option, which has some really unique application when used in combination with the Cotton Down or Regenerator ability. With the Cotton Down ability in particular, this allows you to switch in on an attack, lower your opponent's speed, and then immediately get ejected out into something else. And this can be incredible for allowing you to take advantage of an opponent's lowered speed stat for a Pokemon that normally, wouldn't outspeed whatever it's matched up against. But Regenerator also has some cool application as well, as if you switch in on a predicted move that you can take, you'll immediately eject out, heal most of the damage you just took, and be able to switch in an appropriate counter. So this is an option to definitely consider for a particular set like this one. But for the moves, we're going to run just one status, this time in the form of either Sleep Powder to put things to sleep, or Stun Spore to paralyze them, and then run a Grass-type attacking move in the form of either Leaf Storm for the strongest option that will also lower your special attack 2 stages, Leaf Tornado as a little bit more of a unique option that could potentially lower your opponent's accuracy, or the more standard option in Giga Drain just for the recovery that it provides. Then again, we're going to go ahead and run Rapid Spin just like before for the amazing utility that it provides. And for the last move, again, including Aromatherapy to remove statuses, or Synthesis for just a good healing option that you can use more frequently. But we also have Leech Seed to heal you as well while slowly draining away your opponent's health, provided they're not a grass type. And then lastly, even running Light Screen on the set to provide it and its team some special defense support by reducing the damage they take from special hits for 5 turns. So this gives you a few other support options by removing running 2 statuses, and this allows the set to be a little bit more flexible and in some cases a little bit more well-rounded. Moving on to the third moveset, we're going to be using Eldegoss a little bit more as a specialized support Pokemon for teams that are going to be wanting to make use of Sun or use of grassy terrain. So we're going to start this one off again with a Bold Nature to increase your physical defense but lower your physical attack, and for the ability only going with Regenerator this time, as it is absolutely amazing for this particular support set. As for the EVs, we're again going to go with the mixed defensive EV spread, but for the items, our first option is going to be a Heat Rock, which can allow us to extend the turns of Sun from 5 to 8 that we're going to be setting up with Sunny Day, or extend the turns of Grassy Terrain with the Terrain Extender item from 5 to 8 to support our team more with the Grassy Terrain and also boost our team's ability to deal Grass-type damage significantly. As for our second attack then, we're going to go ahead and run a Grass-type move in the form of either Leaf Storm for your strongest option, Giga Drain as a more across-the-board good option, or even running Solar Beam on this particular set if we use it as the Sunny Day variant, as you're not going to have to worry about the charge turn and you get a very powerful move in the process. Then for your next attack, we're going to go ahead and run Weather Ball as our first option, which is going to work in combination again with the Sunny Day move if you want to go with that variant, to allow it to become a base 100 power fire type move that this Pokemon would normally not have access to, or just go ahead and run a support option in Sleep Powder and Stun Spore, as both of these are incredibly beneficial on a support set like this one that is going to be trying to make use of sun or grassy terrain. And finally, for the last move on the set, we can again continue to run supportive moves in the form of Rapid Spin to get rid of hazards, or we can allow this Pokemon to turn a little bit more into a offensive tank by running the Growth move, which under Sun will boost your physical and special attack by 2 stages. And this combined with your great mixed defenses can actually make this Pokemon incredibly powerful and incredibly difficult to take out. And so this is one of the more unique options to potentially run for a Sunny Day set. You could even go so far as run max special attack if you would want with Growth and the other options to give this Pokemon a ton of offensive presence. But more often than not, this particular set just functions incredibly well to support your team because of the fact that it has the Regenerator ability to just switch in, set up a terrain or Sunny Day, and switch back out and heal off some of the damage it may have taken in the process. Moving on to the fourth moveset of this video, I'm going to be showing off a really powerful Subseed set for this Pokemon to use. So we're going to start this one off this time with a Calm Nature to boost your special defense below your physical attack, and really for this moveset, any of its abilities works because they all have a really unique effect that will support this set in a variety of different ways. As for the EVs though this time, we're actually going to run fully specially defensive EV spread. So we're going to put 252 into your HP, 252 into your special defense, and put the remainder 4 into your speed stat. And for the item, going with leftovers for that recovery at the end of every turn. For the moves though, the first thing that we're going to run is going to be Substitute to get this Pokemon behind a protective barrier to shield it from attacks and statuses while it attempts to Leech Seed its opponents. The next move, to slowly drain away their health and also recover it back as health to you. And these two moves in combination with each other can be a very frustrating combo for your opponents to deal with, and this is one of the reasons why Subseed sets are so effective. Along with this, we have another attacking option in the form of Cotton Guard, which is going to allow us to boost our physical defense by 3 stages, which is why we are running this as a specially defensive set, because we are getting a ton of physical defense support by running this move, and this will make your substitutes incredibly difficult to break from both physical and special attackers, thus making Leech Seed even more effective. But we can also run Rapid Spin here as well, just because it's still a great utility option no matter what kind of set you're running it on. Finally, for the last move, I'm going to include Pollen Puff here as actually your main attacking option, and the reason why is because it's a bug type move, and the only thing in the game that cannot be leech seeded are grass type Pokemon that are weak to bug moves. So this is a really cool option that this Pokemon has access to that I think makes this particular set really unique for it. But if you want to just go with a stab grass option, Giga Drain is definitely the way to go, and this will also heal you even more in combination with your leftovers recovery and in combination with the leech seed recovery that you're getting, making this Pokemon incredibly difficult to take out. But again, Rapid Spin can still be used as a last option here to just give you that great utility in spinning away hazards. And also for this particular stat, the increase to your speed that you get every single time you Rapid Spin is actually incredibly effective for allowing you to be a little bit faster and then potentially substitute before your opponent can attack after you've acquired that speed boost. So it has a lot of really interesting utility built into it for supporting its own set this time as well, which is very, very unique to a Subseed set on this particular Pokemon. Moving on to some more offensive sets for Eldegoss, the first one that I'm going to be showing you is a Specs tank set that allows this Pokemon to be incredibly bulky and incredibly powerful at the same time. So we're going to start this one off by giving it a modest nature to boost its special attack but lower its physical attack, and then going with the Regenerator ability this time as it is absolutely perfect for a set like this. Then for the EVs, we're going to put 208 into our HP to give us a little bit more bulk, 252 into our special attack to max that out, and put the remainder 48 EVs into our speed stat, which is going to give us enough speed to outspeed Pokemon that have a base 65 speed, as there are a plethora of them, and this will give this Pokemon just a little bit more of an offensive presence to outspeed some things that normally wouldn't. As for the item though, on this set we're going to be running Choice Specs to boost our special attack while locking us into a move. And this is amazing when combined with the Regenerator ability, as it allows us to hit something incredibly hard and then switch out and recover any health from any damage we may have taken in the process of trying to nuke something with a powerful move. As for those moves though, the first one that we're going to go with is going to be our main stab grass move in the form of Leaf Storm, which is amazing because it has a base 140 base power, though it will be lowering your special attack by 2 stages, but again, we're probably only going to stay in one turn and use it, and then we're going to switch out and get our Regenerator ability to activate and recover health. So it works perfectly for really everything this set has going for it. Then we're going to go ahead and run Pollen Puff as a powerful bug type move for coverage, and then run either Hyper Voice for a more neutral coverage option as it is a normal type move. It's also a sound move, so it'll go through substitutes, which is pretty cool. Or just go ahead and run Sleep Powder here, as the utility of putting something to sleep is incredibly beneficial, even on a set like this one where we would be locked into Sleep Powder, because we can just put something to sleep and then switch right out, and then the next time we come in, try and deal some damage in some way. Finally, for the last move on the set, again, Rapid Spin is an amazing utility option, even on a set like this where we're Choice Specs, because having the ability to remove hazards is just incredibly invaluable, and this Pokemon doesn't really get a ton more in terms of type coverage, so this is still a great utility option even on a set where we're maximizing our special attack. But again, Sleep Powder is a great option here to just put something to sleep if you need to, as it will allow this Pokemon to support its teammates by allowing you to potentially get a free switch into something else and take advantage of your opponent being put to sleep. So all in all, this set is just designed to switch in, hit something really hard, status something, or remove hazards, and then switch out and basically do it over and over and over again because of the Regenerator ability. But finally, for the last moveset of this video, I'm going to be showing off a set that's pretty similar to the previous one, but is designed to essentially stay in and set up and sweep in a very unique and odd way. So we're going to start this one off by giving it a modest nature to boost its special attack but lower its physical attack, or go with a tip in nature to boost your speed but lower your physical attack. And for the ability on the set, again, any of them work because they all have a different function to what this set is able to do. Cotton Down will make it easier for you to outspeed opponents and thus allow you to hit them before they can damage you. Regenerator allows you to switch in multiple times and try and actually set up with this set. And Effect Spore can be very useful against opponents that may be using contact moves, as it can give you an extra turn to set up if it activates and puts something to sleep, paralyzes something, or even potentially poisons them and drains away their health solely while you attempt to set up. But for the EVs on this set, we're actually going to max our special attack and speed stats this time by putting 252 into both of them and put the remainder 4 into our defense. And for the item on the set, we have a lot of really unique options. The first one is going to be Throat Spray, which is going to be designed to work in combination with the Hyper Voice move, as this is a sound move. So what you will do is you will go for Hyper Voice, and then Throat Spray will activate and boost your special attack by 1 stage. And that's why in this particular set I paired it with Growth, because Growth also boosts your special attack by 1 stage and your physical, but we're really not concerned with that. But Hyper Voice can do it in a way of allowing you to have another more strong option while also making use of your item in the process, which can be very useful. But keeping in mind, Growth can be used multiple times to get you more special attack boosts, and if you were to say, for example, use this with a Sun team, you will be able to actually get a double boost with that, and your physical and special attack being increased by 2 stages. As for your next option though for your item, Life Orb is there as just a universally good thing for allowing you to just do some more damage at the cost of losing 10% of your health every time you damage an opponent. But a white herb can also be useful as well when used in combination with Leaf Storm, as this will remove the special attack drop you get from it and allow you to use Leaf Storm again without having to worry about that, which is very, very cool. Alongside Leaf Storm though, we can include Energy Ball and Giga Drain as a stronger option in Energy Ball that doesn't lower your special attack, or a weaker option in Giga Drain that will heal you, which can be very beneficial because this Pokemon still is incredibly tanky no matter what. But the way that Rapid Spin functions on this set is not only to obviously allow you to spin away hazards, but also boost your speed stat by 1 stage, which achieves this double boost that we're getting. So we have Throat Spray with Hyper Voice to boost our special attack, or Growth to boost that, and then Rapid Spin to boost our speed, to make this Pokemon increasingly faster and increasingly more powerful, thus allowing it to actually function incredibly well as a sweeper, despite needing a very unique setup to achieve this to happen. So I was really excited when I came up with this, because it's not going to be a very consistent way of doing it, but if you want to try to run something a little bit more silly with Eldegoss to allow it to become a especially offensive sweeper, this is definitely the way to do it. But anyways, everybody, that is it for this video on Eldegoss. So thank you all for watching, and as always, take care, goodbye, and I will see you all next time.